Ever since my journey to self-improvement, one of the things that I've learned so far is having an idea that motivation is a myth. So in the long run, it's not sustainable for trying to be more disciplined as well. When I was starting out to becoming disciplined or having the maximum time management I have today, being able to work like 12 to 16 hours per day productively. I started from motivation. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to motivate myself. I really give my best about motivating myself, but it turns out motivation is a myth and it doesn't really happen. So in this video, I do want to teach you to get the sustainable motivation that you need that many other motivational speakers don't do or don't speak about. So first one is I realize, listen man, you have to have your sense of identity. For example, your values, you know what you don't want, you know what you want, you know your core values. Mine is God, goals, growth. If you determine your purpose in life, it's more likely that you wouldn't be able to be distracted in terms of your goals. So you wouldn't actually replace your identity, your values with something that doesn't produce any result or goal. For example, one of my value is goal, alright? And I have a video game super distracting. I usually started to remember my goal, remember that I should prioritize this. This is what my identity are. And chances are you wouldn't be distracted. You would be also motivated by your own set of purpose and values. And also in every book and every author, it's important to have the why. Why is your fuel? Why is the fuel of consistency? And that's why I am disciplined right now. So number 2 is setting specific goals, right? There's such thing as SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. I don't necessarily need to mention that over and over again whenever I create a goal. But I do have that in mind I do question myself a lot. If this is specific, the number one question I always do, is it attainable or is it possible? And does it have a deadline? So more importantly, is it specific and does it have a deadline? And then I do have difficulty when it comes to achieving my goals. So I started by motivating factors. It was like using productivity apps like Forest or Study Bunny to motivate me, because in that day I was just a teenager. Even right now I'm 18. And then I started to use Google Calendar, but not much. But now as a 18-year-old, as an adult, I don't need such thing as Forest, Study Bunny, or other motivating factors. I solely just need Google Calendar. So that's amazing. I transitioned from motivating factors to discipline factors. Maybe because I already have the purpose in mind. I already have built that a skill I have as well. Then it's important to be positive and to have resilience, right? Developing a positive mindset for me is just, I recommend you reading Master Your Emotion. So that's the key. Developing a positive mindset for me is not about beating the negative thoughts that in our heads, but it's more about how we can shower one negative thought to 5 positive thoughts. Or an example, you've thought a negative one like I'm not confident, and then what you want to do is not to stop that negativity, because it's part of you and it's you. So what you want to do is to mention 5 positive things that makes you confident or what you love about yourself. For example, I am handsome, I am skillful, I'm intelligent, I am vlogger, or I am filled with purpose. So that's what the example for me as well. So you have to also be resilient in terms of your positive mindset. It may not work for 1 to 2 to 3 times, but actually it works for me. We all have different methods that we have in life that works for us. Continually express that you need to experiment yourself on what works and what does not for you, because I really believe that we have some diverse preferences when it comes to productivity as well. And according to my research again, it's about number 4, learning from setbacks. So personally, for me, most of my self-improvement journey comes from my mistakes, right? Most of my teaching comes from my mistake. So end up, you don't have to commit that mistake because I already committed it and I've already taught you that. So it's up to you to handle the application. Setback is a very important part of your life. I believe in my mindset that 99.9% of failures generate 0.1 success. Even in entrepreneurship, I committed a lot of mistakes in video editing, freelancing, I committed to a lot of failed businesses that let me understand what really the customer wants, what really the market wants, and how to really market the right way in the practical way. And I've been able to criticize books if it's good or not, criticize content if it's legit or not, because I've done those things and I've committed those mistakes. So I encourage you to learn from your setbacks, and that creates you a motivational factor where confidence comes from the past experience, or confidence comes from the past achievements that we got. Then the only way to achieve is to fail. But I'm not trying to say that you should fail intentionally. You should, whenever you fail unintentionally, you learn from it, you journal it, flick it. Start by just like maybe on your notes. I do use digital notes, just Notion as well. Number 5 is building a support system. I do not really have an experience or much of a friend of having a support system. This doesn't mean it's your family, it's your friends or something. It will be something about you, or develop a support system where you can motivate yourself, like putting affirmations in your whiteboard, or journaling, or rereading your journals, or why you experienced this and what motivated you, how can you improve better. So it's all about your creativity and research as well. Don't have to go depth in that. I want you to have the initiative to develop your skills when it comes to research. And then we have to put huge emphasis on this. Many people does putting your small goals that is achievable, and then rewarding yourself. Doesn't have to be big. I really have put a huge emphasis rewarding ourselves based on our achievable and small goals. It's really put me a lot of confidence and satisfaction that when you reward yourself, you begin to feel like you're a special person. You're someone who has been given a gift by you, have been treated by you, even in smallest ways. Because if you learn how to appreciate yourself or someone else, they will likely to repeat that habit better and better once you give them a reward. That's similar to dopamine. Once you experience pleasure, repeat the cycle or habit. So basically, the way to adapt different changes that we have. For example, you're having a difficulty in something. It's important for you to adapt those changes, or to analyze what are the possible actions, goals you can use to counter that difficulty. So it's more like analyzation, being strategic, being intentional, and constantly learning about yourself. Adapting to change means if you're not feeling if you feel like this plan or strategy of yours is not working anymore, you need to be flexible and to adapt and to be creative and not to be motivated sustainably. Again, motivation is a myth, and it doesn't really is sustainable. So I developed it to have the habits of discipline. Habits of discipline in terms of maybe putting your clothes in the right way, or just reading the floor in just smallest ways, just every day. The important thing is it's not about the intensity of the work, but the consistency, right? Because if you're just you're training your brain, you're saying to your brain that you're reliable or someone to be trusted. The eighth part is self-care and well-being as well. Based on my experience, self-care is not a waste of time. It's actually an investment. That's very important. From my experience, it's when I constantly being motivated, just work, and having enough time to care myself, it's not actually sustainable. Something I do recommend personally for me. I do work 7 weeks, 7 days per week, but usually half day when it's Sunday, because I go to church. I socialize with people. I do what I love, or it's my self-care week, self-care day of the week. So I do work 6 days professionally, and on Sunday is about self-care. So it's important because number one, in order to work motivatedly every day, you have to be sustainable, and every week you have to have one rest day. Doesn't mean that you don't have to totally work for the rest of the day. But you may still invest your time in something that you can put on. Maybe it's 1 hour self-care, 30 minutes self-care. Anything that gives you a break on what you're actually doing, so that you won't be like an automated machine that doesn't reflect. So it's important for us to have to work, fail, and then on the last day you learn, and then you reflect, actually read it down. Then the conclusion, motivation can be a lot, right? You will learn a lot of experience. Look, I know that you will fail a lot. It's normal. So do recommend start by your purpose.